So the question of how to actually create profitable personal brands has come up a few times this week. So I thought I would address this. And it's really interesting how you can have one person create a personal brand and it blows up, and another create a similar personal brand and it goes want, and fails and makes no money, attracts no new clients. So what is the difference between a profitable personal brand and a personal brand that people put a lot of effort into and get nothing from? What I've noticed is two things. The profitable personal brand has someone who actually believes in their genius. So they're not trying to fake it until they make it. They know that they have something. They have an experience, they have expertise, they have passion, they have personality that gets results for people. They also fully own the identity of them being that genius. They don't just believe in their genius, they own their identity of being a genius. So they're not uncomfortable saying, this is what I do. And I know when people start putting themselves out there, there can be these little gremlins that come out and say, who are you to put yourself out there? Who are you to have anyone listen to you? Who do you actually think you are in doing this? And that is being in a state where you don't actually own your genius. You don't fully believe that your genius can create a ripple effect in the world, and people can feel it. It's not great that people can feel it. You can't really fake it until you make it. So you have to be ready to own your genius. And it'll take baby steps. So when you can actually get narrow in what your genius is and just talk about the things that you know well. Pick 3 topics that feed into your genius and stick to those. You're going to have days, months, years of content just from 3 things that you do really well. And that is what you want to use to be able to get people understanding what you can do to help them. Because if you go too broad, which when people are first starting out, it's very easy to get attracted to going broad because it feels like you're leaving money on the table. Otherwise, you're like, I got this tool and I got this tool, and you try and show all the tools in your box. But if you can get narrow and be like, yes, I have these other tools, but this is what I'm awesome at. This is what I'm a genius at. This is how I create the most transformation in the world. That's what you're going to start being known for. And oftentimes what happens is the thing that you're most genius at is the thing that you're going to enjoy the most. The thing that is going to create the most outcomes for your potential clients. And it's going to be the thing that you are going to create the most impact with. So if you can figure out what that genius is, and you already know it, you don't even have to do many exercises to do it. But if you want to, take all your best skills, throw them up on sticky notes and paste them and order them from most loved to most hated and pick your top 3. Those will feed into your genius. But even if you just didn't do that exercise and you just sat down and just listened and asked yourself, what am I really a genius at? It'll come if you give yourself that quiet space. Once you know what that is, then you have to start figuring out how that genius is actually going to apply to the world. So figure out what is that ripple effect that you're going to create in other people's lives, and figure out how you're going to talk about it such that you are comfortable talking about it. Because if you are trying to explain and you're like, oh, but I used to do this and this used to be my title, and you're backpedaling the whole time, then people go, ooh, is this really what they're doing? And they're going to have doubt, and then they're going to get in your head if they have any questions that poke holes in your genius. So you have to really lean into what your genius is, embody it, and make sure that that is how you're coming across. And you can't, again, fake it until you make it. People can feel your BS. They know if you are trying to be something that you're not. So don't be something that you're not. Start a little bit into your genius and showcase that, and then show a little bit more of it. And that's how people become thought leaders, is they stay narrow with their genius. They believe in what their genius can do, and they prove it. So having belief and not having proof is not, you still got to have the proof that it's going to work. But then they also start to really own it. And if you think about the thought leaders that you admire, they own their genius. They have written books on it. They have created seminars on it. Maybe they have courses that you've taken, and they really do own what they are doing. And they may have started off broad, but when they actually made it big was when they went super narrow and went really deep with what they were genius at and stuck to that. They didn't try to go jack of all trades or Jill of all trades. They went into just their niche of genius and stuck with it. If you are really wanting to figure out how you can discover your genius, own it, and figure out that ripple effect with it that you can create in the world, I really do encourage you to join the last challenge of the year, which is happening the last week of November. So if you want to get in on it, I will leave the link in the copy below, and make sure that you get into that room, because it's going to set you up on a path for 2024 that is going to be extraordinary, that is going to change your life, because you will be able to do the work that you love with clients that you love while creating massive impact in the world and creating a highly, highly profitable business, leveraging your personal brand on LinkedIn. Until next time, I wish you a beautiful day, and get out there and own your genius.